Hello, Achievers. Welcome to this channel again, Achievers with JB. Today we are going to learn from a little interesting story, the story of the pipeline. The story is about two friends. One was called Pablo and the other one was called Bruno. These young men decided to be very successful in life and very hardworking. And at that moment, the mayor of the town decided to hire two people that would collect water from the top of the mountain down to the village. And obviously, Pablo and Bruno were up for the challenge. They were so excited about this new challenge because it would bring money in their pockets, and in that way, they would be able to achieve their goals. And the payment depended on the amount of water that you brought down to the village. So the two young men set out to work, and morning and evening they went on top of the hill and down the hill, bringing the buckets of water on a daily basis. Bruno was very satisfied with the kind of income that he had and he was earning. Why? Because he knew that with time, if he worked harder, he would be able to buy himself a cow and construct a house for himself. So he worked harder and collected bigger buckets so that he would collect more water. And in that way, he would earn more money from his this activity. Then Pablo, for one moment, he started feeling pain in the body because they had to carry the buckets of water up and down on a daily basis. So he came up with an idea after thinking for a number of days. And the idea that came up was coming up with a pipeline. So after a number of days, he came up with a master plan that he shared with his childhood friend, Bruno. Guess what? Bruno wasn't up for the challenge. He thought this would waste his time, and obviously he thought it would lessen the amount of income that he would be getting. So he actually looked for even more bigger buckets so that he would carry more water and earn more money. The story is very interesting, and we go on to see Bruno carrying more buckets of water, bigger buckets of water, and the frequency that he used, he even increased the frequency so that he would go for more times up the hill and less times down the hill. And obviously, with time, his hard work paid off. Hard work paid off, and he was able to purchase the cow that he wanted. And secondly, he was also able to purchase the house or construct the house that he wanted. But what was happening in the Pablo camp? In the Pablo camp, Pablo obviously decided to get to work after failing to convince his friend to join him in the challenge. So in the Pablo camp, there was a lot of work that was going on. Obviously, during the day, he too participated in collecting water up and down the hill. But during his free time, Pablo would work on the pipeline. He began digging the hard rocks so that he would get to his dream. Obviously, the Pablo camp wasn't very exciting at that time because the villagers gathered and they laughed at him. Why? Because there wasn't a lot of work that was going on. After very many months of digging the hard rock, Pablo did not see very great success of outcome out of what he was doing. But look here, Pablo decided to ignore them and he decided to go for his challenge. He fixed his mind on his goal and decided to close his ears to the people that were laughing at him. And obviously, Bruno was among the people that were laughing at Pablo. Why? Because they thought what he had decided to come up with was something that was out of this world. It was something that would never be realized. Have you in life come up with an idea and people have laughed at it? Why? Because the vision isn't theirs. They can't look at that idea the way you see the idea. The vision is not theirs, so don't expect them to join in the challenge. And just like Pablo, they will laugh at you, they will mock you, they will not believe you. But you got the vision, and it is your responsibility to push that vision to the end. Why? Because you have the detailed plan, you have the master plan of what you want to achieve. getting people on board. If Pablo had succeeded in getting Bruno on board, that would have been a top up on what he was planning to do. But since Bruno decided to evade the idea, it was Pablo's plan, and I like the Pablo mentality. He decided not to give up on his plan. He decided to go an extra mile to make sure that he realized his plan. So when all that was happening in the Bruno camp, Bruno even had enough time to go to the bars during his extra time, and his friend Pablo used his extra time to dig the hard rock so that he would create the pipeline. Why the pipeline? Because he knew that if he got a pipeline, he would have the water come from the top of the mountain down to the village, and he would not have to work anymore. But Bruno did not see this idea, and it wasn't his vision anyway. So as time went on, obviously, because of the heavy buckets that Bruno was carrying and the kind of work that he was involved in, his body started giving way. He just started getting weaker and weaker. And with time, Bruno could not carry as many buckets of water as he used to when he was at a younger age. But the first year passed and a lot wasn't happening. Nothing much was happening in the Pablo camp. But he did not give up on his idea. He decided to keep at his idea. He decided to hang in there and continue working because it was his idea. So as time went on, obviously Bruno's body gave way, and as it gave way, there is nothing much that he would do to control his health, and he was out of business. Guess what happened to Pablo? Obviously, because of his hard work, a lot had been invested in the pipeline. And Pablo continued to work. The first year passed, there wasn't much. The second year, he began to see the results. And obviously, at the beginning of the third year, the water started flowing from the mountaintop, yes, down to the village. What does this mean? Pablo had started realizing his idea. And when the water began to flow, obviously, this was time for Pablo to clap and dance and laugh. Why? Because Pablo could now sleep, he would travel, he would enjoy his life, and money continued to flow. Why? Because water was flowing from the mountaintop down into the village. And as the water flowed from the mountaintop down to the village, Bruno was earning. Look here. He who laughs last laughs best. And we see Bruno laughing best at the end of this story. Without working, the money continued to flow. Why am I bringing this story? As achievers in life, there are many ideas that we have come up with, and people have laughed, and we have believed that the idea cannot come to pass. And we have given up at the inception of the idea. Why? Because we tried to explain it to people and they did not take it and they did not join us. So we give up on our good ideas and we continue to join the rest of the people that are loved. We give up on our ideas. That is not right. In the first place, the idea was yours, and it is upon you to ensure that you get people to join you to implement the idea. And even when you fail to get them, find a way to convince them so that they can join you for the idea, but don't give up on your idea. A lot of things to learn from the story. Many times we have 9-to-5 jobs, not that they are bad, but when the income comes, how do we use the income? Are we investing it? Because Pablo's part of the story, he's putting up the pipeline. We can take it as you getting part of your 9-to-5 and then you invest it in passive income. Because at the end of the day, we see Pablo won. He had passive income. That is why he was able to sleep, he was able to travel, and money was flowing. So how are you using your 9-to-5 money? You have seed and bread coming from that salary. So make it a point that the seed is sown. And remember, when the seed is sown, it is a very small bit, but when it grows, the results are evident. So my challenge to you is, how are we using our 9 to 5? The salary that we get from our 9 to 5 jobs for those that are still working. My next video will address that. How can we invest our 9 to 5 so that we can have the cash flow that Pablo had at the end? If you have liked this video or this story, kindly subscribe to the channel Achievers with JB and like the video so that it can go to many other people. Why? Because we are achievers in life. And from this story, achievers don't give up on their ideas. Achievers push to the end. Achievers are visionary people. Achievers are focused. Achievers are not weighed down by what people say, but achievers carry on their ideas to the end. I think that is what I had this time. I hope you've enjoyed the story. Let me see your comments down there on what we can continue to send to you. Thank you.